This was the moment MPs obeyed the Prime Minister in ripping up her own Brexit deal in order to try and salvage it.
The ayes to the right, 317. The noes to the left, 301.
In an extraordinary day, Theresa May said she'd go back to the European Union and ask its 27 leaders to reopen the so-called Withdrawal Agreement and dump the so-called backstop, which was designed to keep open the border on the island of Ireland, but is hated by Tory Brexiter MPs and Northern Ireland's DUP MPs who prop up the government. So what now?
Tonight, a majority of honourable members have said they would support a deal with changes to the backstop. It is now clear that there is a route that can secure a substantial and sustainable majority in this House for leaving the EU with a deal.
And the defeated Labour leader even offered an olive branch.
Could I say that we are prepared to meet her, to put forward the points of view from the Labour Party of the kind of agreement we want with the European Union to protect jobs, to protect living standards and to protect rights and conditions in this country.
Jeremy Corbyn lifted his ban on speaking about Brexit with the PM because of this.
The ayes to the right, 318. The noes to the left, 310.
That was a vote on a motion put down by the former Tory Minister Caroline Spelman, and it showed that a slim majority of MPs reject a no-deal Brexit, though their preference for a negotiated exit doesn't have the force of law.
Well, it's not legally binding, but I would say it's morally binding, because this is now the second time when Parliament's clearly made its will apparent that it does not want us to go out on 29th of March without a deal.
Probably the most disappointed MP tonight was Labour's Yvette Cooper.
The question here is whether or not she would ever contemplate any extension of Article 50 to get a bit more time to sort things out to avoid no deal. Yes or no?
Yvette Cooper's motion that would have forced the Prime Minister to delay the date we leave the EU if a deal can't be agreed was defeated after 14 of her Labour colleagues defied Jeremy Corbyn's orders and voted against her. It was a day of passion on all sides. The most senior Tory lampooned his own Prime Minister's chaotic negotiations.
Because if this shambles goes on much longer, I hate to think where populism and extremism will take us next in British democracy.
And another eminent Tory warned his colleagues that they would be held to account if a no-deal Brexit went horribly wrong for the UK.
And if those risks materialise, our party will not be forgiven for many years to come. It will be the first time when we have consciously taken a risk on behalf of our nation, and terrible things have happened to real people in our nation because of that risk, and we will not be able to argue that it was someone else's fault.
And as for the Tory Brexiters who forced the Prime Minister to rip up her Brexit plan, well, they don't think they've won the war yet.
If it turns out that this is all a damp squib, and actually there isn't a proper proper reform of the backstop, if there is no real escape hatch put in for the UK, then I'm afraid we're going to have to vote it out again and think about Plan B.
And she may still need a Plan B, because all she has to do now is persuade 27 EU leaders to reopen a deal they've insisted can't ever be changed. So this car may still break down before it gets home. Robert Peston, News at 10.